So I figured I should share this because guys might want to know. I'm in the backyard here. We have a fenced-in backyard. I have lots of wood because we have a wood-burning stove. Over there is the turtle area, and normally you see this the other way around. Over there is the duck house, which I recently painted, and there's one duck. So we've had 2 Peking ducks for quite a long time, and we're quite attached because we normally have Peking ducks. Peking ducks are domesticated breed of duck. They can't fly. They're just meat ducks, but we don't eat ducks, so we just have a couple Peking ducks. And there's the duck house. There's a bunch of raccoons that live under there. We caught out 12 raccoons recently. Not the last couple nights, but we stopped setting the trap because we were tired of so many raccoons there. And I was looking for the other duck. I believe that's the male. Now you can tell the male's quack is more raspy, and then the peaking, that's what they're named after, is their sound. The peaking sound is more the female's sound, and also the tail feathers, I guess, but I don't really know how to do that. I just know that you can tell from the tail feathers. Anyway, I believe that's the male. And we were looking for the female because the female nests, and she'll nest in weird places, behind stuff or whatever around the yard. And she's been nesting all back through the daylilies here. Is mostly orange, one of them's pink, daylilies. And my dad came out because I was like, I can't find the duck, it's not anywhere. And I didn't notice all these feathers here. And evidently an animal came from under there. I'm putting these things here to block it off, and took our duck, and now it's dead over there. So that sucks a lot because I really like our Peking ducks, and it sucks. So my theory is it was sitting there, which would make sense, and then some animal came under the fence because the fence is really loose here. The animal could come, maybe a coyote or a raccoon, or I don't know, I think a possum or a skunk even. All those animals I think would do that. But I'm thinking a coyote or a coon came under there, grabbed the duck, and obviously it was going crazy here, and drug it out, killed it, didn't even eat it. Maybe they'll probably eat it later, but I don't want the same thing to happen to my male. So I'm just stacking up. I already have wood. I'm just gonna stack it up here now. But that's really annoying. Every day, man. So I think we're gonna get more Peking ducks, but I don't know. It's probably because we don't have dogs anymore. Our dog recently died. I don't know if I've said that. And then we got rid of our Chihuahua because I'm not really a dog person, but the dogs kept anything out of the yard. They weren't outside all the time, so this still could have happened at night, but generally things wouldn't come into the yard when we had the dogs. So now there's bunnies everywhere. There's almost always bunnies in our backyard, which is I think they're pretty cool. But our duck's dead. Okay, so from when I filmed that, things have gotten worse. I blocked off the area, as you can see back there, and the next night was fine. And then the night after that, we couldn't find our male duck, and it was actually dead behind one of these daylily plants. So I set a trap over there, and they're still out there, and that night, and then the animal set off the trap and ate all the food. So then I set this big trap and the little trap out there, covered them both up, and then the animals set them both off and ate all the food. So it's a whole lot smarter than any of the coons, because it's been 14 coons in our duck house, and they really don't set off the trap and eat the food. They just get into the trap. So what we're thinking it was a mink, and I kind of gave up, honestly. I really wanted to catch it, but I didn't want to have to set the trap every night. So after the first after the second time when I set both the traps, I haven't reset them because I mean, we don't have anything to protect now, so I kind of gave up there. So, I don't know. This has kind of been sucky the last month or two. I've been editing a bunch of videos the last couple of days, and I was just watching the video where like half my goldfish died. So that really sucks. And then the ducks died from randomly. I mean, we've had them in this backyard forever, like a super long time, and nothing's messed with them. So I'm assuming it's because we don't have the dogs, and that just adds on top of it. Our dog died, and I was editing some of the older clips that I had, and I saw him in the background, and I almost started crying because that was just the best dog ever. So that happened, and then we rehomed one of our dogs, which doesn't really bother me because, like I said, we're not like super dog people, and we're busy a lot, and I like animals that don't need so much attention. And the family that we rehomed her to was actually the family we got her from, and they were like super happy to have her back, so that's really cool. But then recently fair went by, and that doesn't tear me up too much. We had our 18 chickens butchered, which literally don't even care. The chickens, they don't have personalities like ducks do, at least not market chickens, so it really doesn't bother me. But the goats I had a pretty strong connection with, and they were, they're market goats, and especially the male. The female, I couldn't care less, but the male was really nice. But once a male's a wether, which is a castrated male, it really isn't good for anything. So, I mean, it's kind of, once it's a wether, it's going to be a market animal. But I don't know, it was really nice. Well, it wasn't built nice, but it was really friendly, so that was kind of disappointing. So things haven't been going super well for the animals. We've lost quite a lot of animals, which I mean, it's not like it's not my fault, it's just kind of been happening, and it sucks. So that's my depressing video. And on top of this, I know this is irrelevant, but I just painted the duck house. Like, this is the duck house. So it's made out of like old billboards, so it's been looking crazy for like the last forever. And I just paint it, and then like the universe is like, oh, you painted it? Well, guess what? The ducks, it doesn't matter. So I think we're gonna get ducks again. I tried to talk to some people at the fair because people don't necessarily like to eat duck, I don't believe. Like, I know that people do eat Peking duck. I mean, it's a market duck, so that's what it's for. But a lot of the times with poultry, you don't like take them to market, but rather you either butcher them yourself or you have them butchered and then you keep the meat after fair. So I talked to at least one person at fair asking if we could like just have their Peking ducks after fair, because like I said, Peking ducks they're pretty difficult to butcher, and their meat doesn't necessarily taste the greatest. But they said all their ducks were male this year, and you don't want a ton of drakes in a flock. So I'm looking for some on Craigslist, somebody who doesn't want theirs anymore, and then I'll probably get them. I mean, I like having the ducks out here. I like their sound, and they just, they're always out here, and I think that's nice. But we can't have them out here if there's a mink that's going to be killing them. So I probably should catch the thing, but I imagine if I don't have anything out here for it to kill, it'll leave and not come back. But maybe that's just wishful thinking. The downsides to having ducks in your yard is you always have to have some type of pool or pond. So we normally get a kiddie pool, and we have it, and it creates areas where grass doesn't grow, and you have to always refill that. And you have to buy food for them, obviously. And then they really rip up your yard. So here you can see there's just tons of spots. So anywhere where water might pool, they'll then dig in it and really create a big area, so they like to use their beaks to really dig into the ground, and that'll create lots of holes in your yard and make your yard not very flat. So, I mean, if you're one of those yard perfectionists, then ducks aren't exactly for you, or even pond professionalists, because if you're going to, or I say perfectionists, they're gonna rip up a pond as well. So that's why we just have a kiddie pool out for them generally. So that's unideal. Also, they leave feathers everywhere and crap everywhere. Again, unideal. Kind of like if you go to a pond or something and you see geese droppings, it's kind of like that, just all over your yard. So all of those things are unideal, and yet I still really like having them out here. I think they're really cool. So it just, things happen. It's not always your fault, and you can't always do something about it, which is almost worse in a way, because there was, I mean, I don't know how I could have expected that after multiple years of having them out here with no issues that they would be killed. I mean, I probably could have helped the male more, but like, what was I supposed to do with it? You know, like lock it in the duck house? I don't want to do that to it. It'd get really hot in there. So I think the way to go from here is just to hopefully try to catch something, but again, I'm just done. Like, I don't feel like setting the trap out all the time. So I don't know, maybe I'll find some free ducks on Craigslist, and if I do, then I will definitely will get them, and they can live in our backyard again. We can have ducks. But unfortunately, this is a video I have to make, or maybe if you guys were interested. So generally you'll hear the ducks and the goats and whatever in the background of my videos, but you no longer hear that. So subscribe for better content, hopefully, and have a great day.